In the modern age, there are many accepted and standard ways to get around a college campus. You can ride your bike, ride your skateboard, ride the bus, get your car, or simply walk. However, there is something new coming around. We have a scooter. And for the purpose of this test, we're going to look at how this scooter performs in comparison with other non-motorized vehicles. We've got the bicycle. It's the standard. It's your most common. You'll see it on college campuses across the country and probably across the world. It's easy to ride, almost everyone knows how to do it, and it's pretty convenient. Most colleges even put out bike racks because they know of the large amount of bike riders. Next we have the skateboard, which has begun to encompass a longboard in recent years. It came up a little bit later than the bicycle, but has seen its popularity ever since. It's a little bit more challenging to ride, but it does allow you to go a little faster and can be a little bit more fun than riding a bike. However, it does have a lot less control, as we'll see in the coming tests. Then we've got the scooter. It's been around for quite some time, but for some reason hasn't quite risen in popularity in the same way that the bicycle or the skateboard has. It can sometimes be seen as childish, but we're here to dispel that. And we're going to make the argument that the scooter is the best way for college students to get around campus if they're on a budget and they don't have their cars. So we're going to compare it with other non-motorized vehicles as they perform on hills, stairs, through crowds, and we'll also take a look at their overall convenience. So we begin with our downhill test, and as you can see, the scooter goes down pretty easily. It's got a brake, keeps it under control, handles, gives it a nice steady ride down. Now, as we move on to the bike, you see a fairly similar story. It is heavier, so it goes a little faster, but once again, you have brakes and the handles for the added stability and speed control. The skateboard, however, is a bit of a different story. As you can see here, our rider is able to go down, however, there's not much control on it, and inexperienced riders are often incapable of taking hills at speed. Now, as we move on to our uphill test, we see the bicycle, which should perform fairly admirably. It has the ability to shift gears, allowing it to go a little higher up. However, it is heavier, and some fixed gear bikes may be unable to make it due to their added mass. In the interest of time, we placed the scooter and the skateboard in the same category for this due to their similarities. As we can see in the skateboard test, with momentum, due to its light weight, it is able to go up the hill fairly easily. Now we move on to our next test, in which we will look at the ability of the three different vehicles to go upstairs. First we have the bike, and as you can see, it is a little bit difficult due to the fact that it is heavier than the two other options. The rider has to get off, pick it up, and continue before they're able to get to the top. As we move on to the skateboard, we see the rider approach the steps, bend over, and pick it up. Due to the fact that it is lightweight, it is fairly easy to continue. However, once at the top of the stairs, you will have to once again bend over in order to continue until the next set of stairs. Next, we have the scooter, which once again puts forth a strong effort. Due to the handles and the light weight, the rider is able to quickly get up the stairs while maintaining its speed. Next, we're going to take a look at how our three different options perform while going downstairs. At a college campus, this is going to be quite useful. For skateboards, it is a little bit challenging. While it is lightweight, you once again have to worry about bending over and picking it up. While some more experienced riders may be able to jump over small flights, even the idea of stopping while approaching stairs can be difficult for others. You'll have to get off and head on down the stairs, and once again face a rather daunting hill. Let's see if our rider can do better this time. And no, he did not. Once again, we see another strong performance by the scooter. While there are these many staircases, due to the fact of the handlebars and its light weight, the rider can easily pick up and continue down the steps at speed. Even on longer hills such as this, we are able to continue at a relatively high speed without losing much of our momentum or having to stop and bend over. Once again, the bike's heavier weight and larger size are a detriment to it. As you can see, the rider has to stop using their available brakes to get on and off the bike. While it may be possible for some riders to ride down these staircases, it would be most difficult and dangerous for some, as the likelihood of falling is higher, and when falling it would be more painful. Next up, we test how each one travels through a crowd. First, we have the bicycle, which, as you can see, is able to weave to some extent due to the handles. However, it is larger and a little bit tougher to fit through some tight spaces. And due to its heavy size, it would be dangerous if it were to collide into somebody. However, brakes can prevent that. In this test, we see the scooter play to its strengths. It is small and thinner than the rider, and its handles allow it to weave in and out of crowds nice and easily. The brake on the back allows for nice and easy speed control, and as you can see, the stairs once again cause no problem at all. And now we have our skateboard, which as we can see is a little bit difficult. Here, even an experienced rider deems it not worth the trouble to try and ride across a busy bridge and simply picks up his ride. For college students, one aspect that is very important is how are you going to store your vehicle when it's not in use while you are at school. As we can see for bikes outside of this dorm, most colleges do have bike racks. However, it can be difficult to find a spot and even more difficult to actually go through the process of locking your bike up. Now let's go ahead and watch and see how long this takes him. As you can see, this process might take a little bit too long and be just too difficult enough for some of the lazier college students to handle. Now our scooter, on the other hand, is able to quickly glide right past the bike racks and can even go straight into the dorm. As we see here, the rider just simply scans on in and is able to continue riding even while inside. As we approach the building, a couple other flaws of the skateboard are pointed out. As you can see, if control is lost, the skateboard simply flies away, and larger cracks can be detrimental due to the skateboard's wheels and lack of handles in order to maintain control. However, one strong point similar to the scooter is the fact that you can simply pick it up and carry it into the dorm or classroom. But what if you have to keep your device in the room? As we can see here, the bike, not too favorable, especially in a dorm situation. If a bike rack isn't available, it can simply get in the way and there's not really a good place to put it. The scooter, on the other hand, can fold up pretty nicely and fit into just about any place you'd want to keep it in your room. And it is a very similar case with the skateboard. Once again, it can simply be hung or stored in a pretty easy position. Now we look at price. Here we base the scooter's price based on a standard razor listed on Amazon.com. As you can see, it will range you about $30, and fortunately that's going to be pretty much the only thing you ever pay. There's not going to be any real upkeep for it. And speaking from personal experience, I had a scooter last me 11 years before it was stolen and I had to get a replacement. As we move on to the skateboard, pricing is going to be pretty similar. It's about $25 for a standard set. However, there is some upkeep involved. As the skateboard wears, you may need to replace the grip on top, as well as manually adjust or replace the trucks or wheels, which can then put some additional cost on your tight college budget. For the bicycle, we looked at prices listed at Walmart.com. And as you can see, standard road bikes, which would be ideal for college campuses, are going to be upwards of $100, which can be a little tight on, once again, our short college budget. Furthermore, bikes require the most upkeep. You'll have to buy a pump in order to keep the tires filled, as well as buy tire replacements in case you get a flat tire. And a non-issue with the plastic tires of the skateboard and scooter. Furthermore, as we saw earlier, you're going to need to buy a bike lock. A good one can once again cost you upwards of $20, which only adds to your already larger cost. Furthermore, if you live far away, it's going to be quite difficult to transport this. It may fit in a car, but if not, you're going to have to spend about another $100 on a bike rack, which will just continuously add to your cost.
Yeah.
Alright, do you want to head to the letter? Yeah, that sounds good. Alright, let's go. Wait, where are you going? I can't go up the stairs. Alright, well, we'll see you there, I guess. Alright, sounds good. I don't know, man. I guess it's, he had to take a bit of a longer route, but he should be here by now.
Yeah, buddy. We beat him on a bike. How did that happen?
I don't know. I'm really hungry, though. I'm getting a little fed up.
Might as well just go in and wait for that.
Oh, wait, no, here he comes. Alright, finally.
Man, what took you so long?
A lot of hills, bro. You ready to eat?
Yeah, dude, I mean, we've been waiting for a while, but yeah, let's go.
Okay.
And just to wrap things up, we saw the scooter perform well in the uphill test as it was able to continue all the way up the hill and pop right up and down stairs. Unlike the bike and skateboard, which had trouble on both of those tests. Furthermore, when it came to going through some crowds, skateboard was pretty much non-existent on that test. We didn't even really get to see a good test of it because it's almost impossible. And while the bike performed well, it does have some flaws due to its larger size. The scooter, however, it can go through them pretty quickly, and it can maintain its control while doing so. So once again, we've got a win for the scooter in that category. Next, we looked at the general convenience of our three different options. It was pretty clear from the start that this was not going to be the bicycle's strongest category. It's by far the most expensive and requires the most effort to transport and store. When it came to the scooter and the skateboard, both performed pretty much equally in most of the categories. They can both be taken into just about any room with you and can be stored in your dorm fairly easily. Where the scooter edges over the skateboard, however, is in the ease in which one can ride it. If you can stand and hold on to the bars, you can pretty much ride a scooter. There's no real other training or even really balance that falls into the factor. On a skateboard, however, for most people there's going to be some training due to the fact that it is a little bit different and it does require quite a bit of balance and skill in keeping a slow speed as well as stopping. So, for all the aforementioned reasons and the evidence we have presented, we want you to maybe take a look at how you get around campus and see if maybe a scooter is an option for you. I know it is for some of us, and we kind of like it. It's pretty easy and pretty affordable.